The next factor that contributes to binge eating is where people are using food as a way of managing their psychological and mental state. And this is a huge topic. We could go in any number of directions with this one, but essentially you've got two types of hunger. You've got physical and emotional hunger. Physical hunger is obviously where you need calories and you need nutrients. And the emotional hunger is essentially eating for any other reason other than fuel and nutrients. So, for example, let's say that we've got somebody who is at work and they get given a high workload. And here's a sequence of steps that they might have gone through in the past. So they get given a high workload. They then imagine in their minds themselves not being able to complete all the work that they've been asked to do. They don't know how to solve the particular problems that they've been landed with. They imagine their boss getting angry at them. They imagine themselves having to work longer and longer hours into the night. They imagine getting home and their husband or wife being angry or upset with them and so on. So they play out all of this stuff that they don't know how to handle. It feels overwhelming. And so now they're in a state of overwhelm, and psychologically that's painful. So there's a part of your mind that just wants to immediately get out of pain as quickly as possible. So maybe in the past they learnt how to use food as a way of doing this, and they might have modeled this on a significant person like a parent or a friend. They might have just learnt it through experience. They might have just experimented with it once or twice. Maybe they learnt it through adverts, but through repetition they learnt that every time they eat food, physiologically they change. Their blood sugar changes, their brain chemistry changes, and the process of eating is distracting, and it helps them to achieve this state of almost numbness or nothingness. And so because they've done that a lot in the past, and they unconsciously they know that's rapid, reliable and effective, then as soon as they have that psychological pain of overwhelm, their brain goes, I know, let's eat some food. And so before they know it, they've got their head in the fridge. So there's a whole sequence of steps from being given another piece of work on their work pile through all of those steps in between, ultimately culminating with the behavior of eating food. And if they do this enough times, this is what we call a neural pathway. It's a sequence of nerve impulses within the nervous system that gets faster and faster and faster with repeated use. And eventually, after a while, it's get given a piece of work, have an uncontrollable craving for food, and I don't know where it came from. And that's where, again, people start going into binge eating behaviors. So, like I said, this is a pretty big topic, but the first place to start is to help somebody to identify a positive outcome to move towards. Because at the moment, all they've got is a negative outcome to move away from. The negative outcome being, I don't want to feel overwhelmed, or I don't want to have so much work to do, which is, might be something that might be out of their control, but it has to be something that's within your control in the first place. But they're still trying to move away from something. They're trying to move away from overwhelm, and they know that food is a rapid, reliable and effective way of doing that. So instead, we need to help them to identify, okay, what are your outcomes? What do you want to do? And how do you want to feel whilst you're doing it? Give them a clear target to move towards, and then they can start implementing other techniques to help them to move towards that. But purely having that sense of direction and purpose helps you to make a new choice. And it might be that actually what you really need, considering the big picture, the most useful thing will be to take a break. And in the past, food was a way of forcing yourself to take a break. That was your unconscious mind's way of saying, hey dummy, I'm getting tired, let's take a break. Whereas if you identify that and go, you know what, I'm getting overwhelmed purely because I've been working flat out for 4 hours straight without a break. Let's get out, get some fresh air, let's go for a walk, let's do something different, change our state physiologically, change our focus. So we're outside in nature, whatever it is that you're doing, catching up with a friend, and then you can return back with a fresh state of mind, and you can see things in a whole new light. So you can make better choices, better decisions. You can prioritize and execute on your tasks much more effectively, improve your productivity, and so on, and be able to manage your mindset in the process. But that's like I said, there's a lot of factors at play here. But the first step with this, any time that you find yourself having what we might call an emotional craving, is decide, what do I really want? What's the most beneficial thing for me to do and feel this moment? And there could be a whole bunch of different answers there, but set yourself a clear target to move towards, and that by default will help you to move away from what you don't want. So hopefully that helps. And like I say, it's a big topic, but that is the first step. And for many people, that resolves a great deal of their issues.